Okay, so welcome to our podcast. Today's topic is going to be around traveling. We will be discussing mostly travel around Europe and some of the questions. What are the surprises that we have for this podcast?
So we're going to mainly talk about why we travel. So do you have any particular reason, like why you travel?
For me, mostly to get a bit of a break from my regular routine. Can see different things. Also because I like to see different countries and their culture, and try different food that is available in these countries.
Nice.
Yeah, similar to Shrindish. So, basically, to take a break from your existing ecosystem and then exploring, let's say, different perspectives or different cultures.
Yeah.
And you?
I think definitely cultures for sure, because it's nice to see how people are same and different at the same time, and just even if it's very close by, the border actually makes a difference. And definitely food, it's so amazing to see like how people use pretty much the same ingredients and make completely different things. And I absolutely love to try the local food.
You only travel to the nearby countries, or do you also travel long distance? What is your preferred?
Not necessarily. I think the distance really doesn't matter. I think the biggest point that I consider is how easy it is to actually plan a trip. So that basically comes down to visa. And since we are based in Europe, it makes it very easy to travel around European countries because they're close by and you don't need a visa. So at least at the moment, that's what I've been doing. Of course, I don't want to, just stick to Europe. I want to go get out of my comfort zone, but that needs more planning and, of course, visa and all.
The good thing is, if you have EU visa, then you can, Schengen visa, then you can travel to many countries, even if you don't have the visa of that country. So, for example, I'm trying to go to Armenia and Georgia, and for both of these countries, you can go there on Indian passport plus US or Schengen visa without applying for a separate visa. Also, there are many. There is a whole list of countries you can find online.
Yeah.
And Abhishek, for you also, is it the same that you prefer to travel within Europe because?
Yeah, it's easier. In Europe, traveling is way easier because things are well connected. The information is well documented. There are not so many surprises. You don't have to plan very hard. Plan a lot. You can kind of go there and more or less figure out things. But if you want to go outside the, let's say, Schengen area or EU, then you have to kind of think out the language, currency, and a lot of things. So
that's true. Adding to that, definitely that holds true most of the time, but not in all the East European countries.
Yeah, sure, of course.
So the infrastructure is definitely not the same like in Western European countries, maybe like France and Netherlands and Germany and so on. So maybe in countries like Albania, Slovenia, all these places, there is public transport, but not to the extent that it is there here. So that's something you have to consider.
Were you always interested in traveling even back in your home country?
No. Absolutely not.
What made you start?
That's the thing. Back home it was.
Was it accessibility?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's accessibility. So at least in, let's say, 10 years ago, it was not so easy to travel around India. Now things have changed, of course.
Yeah.
You can always go to big cities, but not easy to travel to other smaller places. So I basically traveled zero. But I only started in my student life because I had more time. I had ease of traveling here. And I remember the first time one of my classmates told me that he has been to Paris. I was so surprised because how can you just go there? And then I slowly realized that it's much easier here.
You can just go there.
Because
for me, I was not so interested in traveling when I was in Sweden. I only traveled one-day trips or something. I have never even visited Gothenburg or the two other most famous cities, Gothenburg and Lund, which are the major cities in Sweden. And I would say for me, right now I've traveled a lot more countries in Europe, and I think that is mainly because of Kirtana. Because she likes to travel a lot, and I think she will tell you more about it. But yeah, that's how it started for me to travel and to like more traveling to more countries and exploring more things.
Yeah, I think we just didn't have so much to do on the weekends, and it's super easy to get to a whole different country just within a few hours of travel. So I think it's mainly that with which
But
I
from
started.
Sweden, it was not so easy to travel to other countries, right? Because there is
but
a
there
sea in between. And
yeah, but you could go with the cruise to other countries, and that is a whole different experience, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not completely isolated. You can also go to other nearby countries, Norway and Finland and so on. So, yeah, I mean, there's a sea in between, but still you can take a flight and get to another place.
So, just like a trivia, like what is the longest non-flight travel you have done?
Non-flight, so by road you mean?
By road mostly, and terrestrial.
by road or cruise? Also?
Cruise?
Yeah, but on land, let's say.
On land?
Okay.
On cruise it's like, I don't know, more than 12 hours, right? Like you start in the evening at 5:30, you reach the
I
next
think it's
day
around
at 10.
16 hours.
Yeah,
on
16
average.
hours.
Yeah.
So that's the longest, I think, because by land it's always been probably, okay, I think the longest was when I took a train from here to Zurich, which was like maybe around 12 hours or something with the stop in between. So yeah, that's all.
Okay.
I think it's the same for me. It was also around 15 hours. I went from Berlin to London, and then of course I took a break there, but then also like continued by train up to Scotland. So I basically didn't really take any flights in this.
And where did you stop in between? From Berlin to London?
So I mean, I changed trains in Amsterdam, but yeah, so
there was no layover as such.
There was layover in Amsterdam, but it was pretty short, so not that long. So that's the nice thing about trains. You don't have to like deboard and to go to other gate and then again check in, then like the whole thing. So
for me, I mean, until the Olympics last year, my longest journey was around 7 hours, which was to Poland from Berlin. But last time in Olympics, my flight got cancelled in the very last minute to Paris, and I had to take a train from Berlin to Paris, and that ended up being close to 12-13 hours for me because I had to change in Cologne, and then there was a direct train from Cologne to Paris. So that was the longest.
It's much easier to travel by trains here, so you can take a longer rides.
And now I heard that they have direct trains from Berlin to Paris.
Yeah.
So maybe they are much like quicker compared to this.
Yeah, but it sounds like we all like to travel to different cities, right? I think we've been naming different cities, and so we haven't really. I mean, I know there are a lot of people out there who are mostly, when they travel, they go out for nature because they live in cities already and they don't want to go see other cities. And if people have traveled in Europe, they know that most cities look alike. There's a church, there's the old town, and then
a river.
Yeah, there's a river.
Palace.
And then,
typical.
But yeah, I think a lot of people also travel for nature. Personally, I mean, I've never taken a trip just to do, like a nature adventure, maybe at the beach or like just hiking and so on. Have you done anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I went to Schwarzwald, I mean the Black Forest for hiking, and I mean, I just went there for this. So I went to Stuttgart and then took a regional train from there, and then I hiked. So there are some spots where you can do this, but otherwise in many cases it's not very accessible compared to cities. So you probably have to go to the nearest city and then from there go like to these places. And I mean, it's also maybe, of course, many people go there solo, but I generally would prefer to hike in groups, not solo. So
True.
it's like more planning and more stuff to like take. Like you need like shoes and everything, jackets, etc. So it's like more hectic, let's say, than traveling to a city where you just go and stay and come back.
So would you say, like, if you had limited trips to do in a year, you would, I mean, what percentage of your trips would be city and...
I mean, it really depends on like the situation, to be honest. So,
okay. For me as well, I think I would say 70 to 80% of my trips I would prefer to be in the city, exploring that city, and then the rest would be nature or some hike or something, or like beach city or something like that. Yeah, because even I know some of my colleagues, like they only go to one place for a week. Like for example, if there is any island in Europe, they only go to that island and stay there for a week or two, and then they only explore like that part of the they just go there to relax on the beach for a very long period of time. But I think for us it's not like that.
There are also these hotel vacations, right? So people they go to a hotel, like a very nice hotel. They basically stay in the hotel. They never go out. So they basically go to swimming pool or just eat, sleep, watch TV, and come back.
But is it common in our age group or more?
No, probably older people.
Or maybe when people have kids, I think. Kids have a
true.
play area.
True. But I even know people of our age who...
But I want to do this once just to experience, because I have never done this.
I would also love to do it. It sounds boring, maybe for 2 days, yes.
I mean, I know people in Mumbai who do this staycation, so they just go and stay in a hotel in their own city.
Okay, so what is the most underrated country that you've visited? I mean, personally, what do you think it is?
I mean, I would say it's not. I mean, okay, Budapest is not really like unknown, I would say, but it's not. Let's say people try to flock to Paris, for example, and I would rather go to Budapest. I mean, it has like.
So you mean only Budapest or Hungary?
I haven't seen the country, so I don't know, but it's like a cheaper and better option. I think now Prague was like this before, but I think it's now again like pretty much touristified. But
and
which are like, let's say not underrated, but which are like less explored place you have been to?
Okay, maybe I've been to Corfu, which is an island in Greece, and that's really unheard, I guess. I mean, it is touristy for sure, but when compared to all the other touristy places, it's definitely lesser, and it was absolutely beautiful, like the beaches and everything. I haven't been to like the most touristy places in Greece, but I felt like this was amazing already.
I would have said Croatia, but I mean, I think it's very popular now with tourists.
Oh yeah.
That's why, like, being in EU, I would like to say Scotland, like Scottish Highlands. I think people in EU are not so familiar with it, but I feel that my train journey there was very like breathtaking. The scenic views, they were too good, because even the lakes there, and they were quite empty, so I reckon that during the peak season also, if it was so empty on the hikes in some places, then it is not as popular as these places, maybe.
I took a train from Oslo to Bergen, and this journey is very nice. I mean, the views you get are not like, let's say, what you normally expect in Europe. It's very different. It's very Martian and a lot of different changing landscapes, and I think that's pretty not so much popular, I would say, compared to the continental Europe.
Or maybe people avoid to go there because of the expenses,
Maybe also the weather is not that great. I know. I mean, it's very sparing, less number of days in summer when you can enjoy your journey.
Bergen, I think, is also very well known for having a lot of rain.
One of the wettest places. But luckily, when I was there, it was very sunny. It was very, very.
Oh, you were there on one of those rare days. And which is your most favorite city or country?
I would say Sevilla in south of Spain. That's like my favorite city. Outside Germany, let's say in Germany, I would say Lübeck, which is like up north. It's very small city. I mean, not that big, and it's very quiet, and it's like very nice views. And it's on the seashore, so yeah, it's pretty nice. I would say pretty underexplored.
Have you been?
No, I haven't. It would be
Yeah.
nice to visit Lubeck
Yeah.
once.
I think it's a day trip. Yeah, you
Okay.
can go day trip.
Of course, Iceland,
Mhm.
because also it's quite different than other rest of the countries I have visited. Yeah.
Okay.
What
Yeah, for
about
me
you?
as well, I think it's very easy to choose. If I have to choose a country, it would be Iceland, because it was, I mean, the landscape is very different when, you compare it to any other place, like mountains and beaches, all these are there, but it's so different with all the lava fields and, like all the beaches with ice and the glaciers. It's completely different. It's not something I expected, and it was really beautiful. So I think definitely it's Iceland.
Okay. Like which country? I mean, if a person is interested a lot in history, which country would you suggest him to go to in Europe?
It's the whole Europe. I would say it's
Yeah.
like everywhere you will find something.
Okay.
But like for example, some places, I mean, they were really let's say historically extremely significant in, let's say, 500-600 years ago, but now they are like small towns who hardly anyone outside knows about. So for example, Aachen, which is in West Germany near the border with Belgium.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the capital of the Holy Roman Empire. Nothing to do with the Roman Empire. It's like totally different.
Okay.
And the kings were crowned in this cathedral in this town.
Oh.
And it's pretty small. It's like a university town, right?
Yeah.
It's like this university and like some other
Okay.
stuff, and that's it. There is nothing much there. So I mean, I mostly traveled there for work, not really like to see around. But I don't think anyone goes there for just for tourists. Maybe like really somebody wants to find something specific. But yeah, so there are also like you don't need to go to Rome or Paris. Like you also like these smaller places where you find a lot of history.
Yeah. But when you solo travel, like what is your routine like? So if you don't go to museums, do you explore around the city?
Yeah, I generally walk around and like find
Take
like
city
places.
tours and
Yeah.
okay.
Like also find maybe, let's say, not so touristy places and go around. Yeah, so
Yeah, so do you always plan everything in advance, like what you want to see, what you want to do, or maybe like a schedule or something like that, or do you just do it on
I
the
mean,
spot?
I plan roughly, so more or less I know like this day I will do this mostly. But of course, like the details I keep it open because you never know what will happen. And then you will discover new places, etc. Or let's say the weather turns against you and then you have to hide somewhere and go to a museum and
Yeah.
spend the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I also do the same, like at least have a rough plan of the places I want to cover. Because, well, I think there are people who actually feel stressed because it's a vacation, right? Like you just shouldn't have a schedule and an agenda that you need to see all these. But I think I really feel like, okay, I'm missing out on so many things if I don't really have a plan. So
Yeah.
I generally tend to at least have a rough idea of all the things I want to see and what I don't mind not seeing, and then of course
Yeah.
improvise it along the way.
I think for this we usually use Google Maps. Like we mark the places that we want to go, and then we see the distances of these places from where we are, and
Yeah.
then we plan it accordingly. Maybe for on the first day we'll cover these places, on the second day. So I think the Google Maps, like when you mark places with different icons,
Yeah,
it really helps you. And
that's a
also
very useful
when you go
trick.
back
Yeah.
and you want to see where you were, it's a really nice way to
Yeah.
like do things.
Yeah, then you
I
don't
have
go
a-
like back and forth. You just
Yeah.
cover it in a circle or in an order, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I have one interesting like question. So when you travel, do you usually like how do you book your stay? Like do you usually prefer to stay Airbnbs or hotels or hostels?
I mean, I used to stay in hostels before COVID, but after COVID, I generally shifted to like
Yeah.
private stays. So
Okay.
yeah, mostly Airbnb, or I think I like apart hotels. So they are like
Mhm.
apartments, but basically
Mhm.
hotels. So similar to Airbnb, I would say, but I really like this concept because you get a kitchen, and then you
Yeah.
can basically do your breakfast or like cook something. You don't have to eat out all the time.
Great. Okay, so I think that brings us to the end of this episode. I really hope all of you enjoyed. Please let us know all your questions because we would love to discuss about them and answer if you have any questions, or also let us know the topics that you would like us to talk about next time. So
Yeah.
we can
Thank you so
from
much
there.
For watching, and see you next time.
Cheers.
Bye.
Yeah.